Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Yeah, I guess there's a little bit of a trend with these videos. I'm making a little bit of a similar point, but they're all different situations. The leftoids keep stooping to all new lows. They just keep setting the bar lower and lower and lower on a weekly and now daily basis. And if you thought the Al Green stuff was bad, the Jasmine Crockett stuff was bad, the Harry Sisson stuff, well, I'd say it all pales in comparison to this moment that we're going to talk about in the video. Democrats refusing to clap for a cancer survivor because their brains are just so totally grasped, hijacked by Trump derangement syndrome. Donald Trump put a spotlight on some incredible Americans during his address, people who had gone through incredible hardships and still remained resilient. And each and every single time that Donald Trump put the spotlight on these deserving individuals, the Democrats refused to clap. They sat there looking all sour-faced, crossing their arms, refusing to clap or stand up or show anything positive for the families of violent crime victims, for law enforcement, and most disgustingly, and that's the headline for this story, not even for DJ Daniel, a young teenager who survived cancer. Let's talk about it, shall we? We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, I'm sure you guys saw the profile and the moment that happened. Donald Trump put young DJ in the spotlight.
I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service. 2018, DJ was diagnosed with brain cancer. The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live. That was more than 6 years ago.
Running lights, going to the hospital. And then next thing you know, I was seasoned on the table. They said, no, we're going to have to go on his brain tonight. Ever since then, I had 13 brain surgeries. And that's how many times my personality has changed. And that's something that you don't hear from a terminally ill child. They had 5 months to live. I'm going to keep on going until my gas tanks run out. And that's when God calls you home. You never know when God's going to call you home. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my dad. And I know he's pretty proud of me, and I'm pretty proud of him too. And I'd like to thank President Trump, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here today.
An incredibly heartfelt moment, and just look at the Democrat reaction. Absolutely shameless. Their Trump derangement syndrome is so strong that they couldn't even pretend to be decent human beings for 5 seconds. Just horrible, despicable behavior. Drop the partisanship for 5 seconds and clap for a kid who survived cancer. Is that really so difficult? Apparently it is for Democrats, which is funny considering they're the party that pretends to have a monopoly on compassion and being good people. Yeah, obviously, that's a crock of you-know-what. And I'm thinking, could you imagine if this happened the other way around? Could you imagine if Joe Biden pointed to a cancer survivor, gave him the spotlight, a whole hero character profile and everything, and then the camera panned to Republicans and they refused to smile or clap? Could you imagine what the media would be saying? It would be going on and on about the evil white men of the Republican Party. And now really, just to show you how heinous these Democrats are, guess what the leftist media reaction was? Doubling down and justifying it. Let's start off with this horrible clip from MSNBC.
But I think this was a lesson in finding one thing that you let yourself feel. And I let myself feel joy about DJ, and I hope he's alive for another, 95 years, right? And I hope he lives and the life he wants to live. He wants to be a cop. He knows what he wants to do. And maybe when you have childhood cancer, that crystallizes for you. And I hope he has a long life as a law enforcement officer. But I hope he never has to defend the United States Capitol against Donald Trump supporters. And if he does, I hope he isn't one of the 6 who loses his life to suicide. And I hope he isn't one who has to testify against the people who carried out acts of seditious conspiracy and then live to see Donald Trump pardon those people.
Absolutely disgusting and tasteless. And that clip right over there perfectly encapsulates everything wrong with the left, trying to twist a young cancer survivor's moment of triumph into some deranged January 6th revenge fantasy. It's beyond vile. The media would be better off just ignoring it. The unfortunate reality of the world is that, things move fast and people will eventually forget this stuff, even if it's So despicable and disgusting, but these media characters again show their extreme bias, and instead of ignoring the obvious bad optics for Democrats, this is what they do. Double down, justify, and try to spin it against Donald Trump, because somehow everything Trump does is evil, right? Even when he's celebrating a cancer survivor, he's the problem.
For the record, and this is disgusting, the president made a spectacle out of praising a young man who thus far survived pediatric cancer, as if the president had something to do with that. This was in the midst of him praising Doge. The Doge cuts, among other things, have cut off funding for ongoing research into pediatric cancer.
Yeah, of course, Rachel Maddow had to do the same thing, doubling down on this vile garbage. Again, attempting to paint Donald Trump as the bad guy here, claiming that what he did in celebrating DJ was, quote, disgusting. Yeah, well, firstly, I don't think his family found it so disgusting. They seemed thrilled to be offered the opportunity to be there, but somehow it's all part of some evil, selfish ploy from the president to take credit or gain an optics win. Can something just be nice? Is Donald Trump able to do something nice? Is that even possible? According to these people, no. If he does something nice, he's always doing it because of some bad intention. Honestly, it's disgusting. And in a way, I think they're just projecting their own mentality onto him. You know, just because that's the way that you think about these things doesn't mean that's Trump's angle, Rachel. Maybe he's just a good person who wanted to honor a young kid who's been through some serious hardship and has a passion for being a police officer. Maybe that's just it, and you're the crazed one who sees evil everywhere with Donald Trump. It's this weird Trump-deranged paranoia, and every single Democrat seems to be pushing this.
Pretty awful, and I really did not like the way he used the tragic incidents and the families that were there, who of course appreciated what they think is their president caring about what happened, to the 12-year-old and to others who were victims. And we all feel sad and bad for them, but he misused them. He misused them. And what he did was he focused on them instead of focusing on the real issues that we're dealing with now.
Maxine Waters saying the same thing. It's all a ploy to distract from actual issues. No, you big dummy. The border was an actual issue. He's shining light on the issue, and you guys are trying to distract from important issues, just as you have been for years. Trump highlighted victims of Democrat policy failures, and that's obviously what they don't like. Like the women he profiled who lost their children to violent illegal aliens. These were victims of the left's insane open border policies. But obviously, these Democrats don't care about real issues, they don't care about real victims, they only care about politics and optics, and so that's why they're playing these disgusting games. But what they don't realize is, they're just making themselves look horrible. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. I don't know what else to say here, other than these are clearly objectively bad people. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.